does it in three stages. The first stage that Krishna does is he reveals his form, which creates a sense of wonderment. So in 11.15 and going on to 11.22, Krishna is simply creating wonder in the minds of Arjuna. So 11.15, he says, I see Brahma, Shiva, I see the sages, I see the celestial serpents, and so on and so forth. He says, I see countless arms, stomachs, faces, eyes. I see that you have no beginning, no middle, no end. He also goes on to say that I see your form adorned with a crown, with a club and the disc, shining everywhere as the abode of splendor. It's hard to look upon you because the fire of your effulgence is radiating like the sun in all directions. He also goes on to say that I recognize you as the imperishable being, the ultimate truth. You're the support of creation. You're the protector of Sanatan Dharma. You are the everlasting supreme. He also says that you have no beginning, no middle, no end. Your power has no limits. Your arms are infinite. Your sun and moon, the sun and moon are like your eyes, and fire is like your mouth. You see? And having done that, he gradually begins to say that the form is not just wondrous but also terrible. The space between heaven and earth and all the directions is pervaded by you alone. Seeing your wondrous and terrible form, I see the three worlds trembling with fear. Here is the hint of fear beginning now from wonderment. And then from 20, he goes on to say that all the celestial gods are entering into you. Some are praising you and they're extolling you with hymns and profuse prayers. And he says, the Rudra, Adityas, Vasu, Sadhyas, Vishwadevas, Ashwini Kumars, Maruts, etc., all are beholding you in wonder. There is still the wonder stage. And he goes on to say, now he comes slowly to fear. And he says, O mighty Lord, seeing your magnificent form with its many eyes, arms, legs, thighs, stomachs, and terrifying teeth, the worlds are terror-stricken. And they are disturbed. And he says, so am I disturbed. So from wonderment, Arjun moves to disturbance of mind. He says, I can't maintain my equilibrium. I can't maintain my mental equanimity. Seeing your radiant colors filling the sky and beholding your eyes and particularly your mouth, I am afraid, Arjun says. In fact, he says, Damstra karalani chate mukhani drishtvaeva kalanala sanibhani disho na jane na labhe cha sharma prasida deveshu jagan nivasa. I can't keep my balance. I can't keep my mental balance seeing your death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions, I am bewildered. So the fear phase of Arjun, which begins in 23, is now coming into full form. And he says, all the sons of Dhritarashtra and along with their allied kings and Bhishma and Drona and Karna are all rushing into your mouths. Their heads are being smashed by your fearful teeth. I see that some are being crushed by your teeth as well. So in fact, he says that just as the rivers flow into the sea, so also all these great warriors are entering your blazing mouths and perish. Yatha pradiptam jwalanam patanga vishanti nashaya samridha vega tathaiva nashaya vishanti lokas tavapi vaktrani samriddha vega. And he sees all people rushing full speed into his mouth, just like moths dash into a blazing fire. So if you've ever been to a campfire and you've seen that all the moths fly into a blazing fire and perish there. So also all people he sees rushing into the mouths of Krishna and perishing. O Vishnu, I see you swallowing all people in your flaming mouths and covering the universe with your immeasurable radiance, searching the worlds, scorching the worlds, you are manifest. O Lord of Lords, so fierce a form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisance unto you. Please be gracious to me. I do not know what your mission is, and I desire to hear of it. So now Arjun is asking Krishna, what is your mission? I want to hear, what do you want? What do you desire? And Krishna says, time I am destroyer of worlds. Kalosmi lokokshaya krit pravriddho. Lokan samahritam iha pravritta. Ritepi tvam bhavishyanti sarve ya vashtita pratyanikeshu yodha. I am destroyer of the worlds. I am all devouring time. I have come to swallow and destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be killed. Therefore, get up and fight. Tasmat tvam uttishta yasho labasva. Jitva shatrun bhunksva rajyam samriddham. Maya vaite nihata purvam eva nimitta matram bhava savya sachin. So he tells him, they are already dead. Except for your brothers and you, all the soldiers on both the sides are already dead. Therefore, get up and become my instrument, nimitta matra. Such a wonderful thing Krishna has explained here. So wonderfully he explains it. Krishna elsewhere has said, Vedaham samatitani vartmani cha arjuna bhutani cha bhavishyani mam tu vedna kaschana. Krishna says, I know the past, I know the present, I know the future of all living entities. But me, Krishna says, nobody knows. So Krishna knows the past, he knows the present, he knows the future. He is the producer, he is the director. And when he incarnates, he is seen as the personal actor behind all this. And in fact, he is telling Arjun that you foolish guy, don't think you are doing anything or that you will incur sin. This I am doing. You will not kill anyone. I have already killed them. In the earlier part of Bhagavad-Gita, you see Krishna says to Arjun, Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. So, all actions are performed by Prakriti. But the foolish, idiotic living entity imagines he is the doer of all activities. Who is doing the actions? Prakriti. Krishna is showing him. Prakriti is doing all the action. You become nimitta matra. You become the instrument. You become the visible instrument of what is being done. And therefore he says that you are not doing anything. Everything is being done by me through material nature. Maya dhyakshena prakriti suyate sa characharam hetuna nena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. He says this elsewhere in the Bhagavad-Gita, that karya karanam kartritve hetur prakriti uchyate Purusha sukha dukhanam bhoktritva hetu ruchyate. All actions are performed by Prakriti. But you, the individual soul, the jiva, you think I am doing it. That's why, although it is done by Prakriti, you are enjoying and you are suffering. So he's pointing out that Arjun is not the doer. Arjun is only the nimitta matra. He is only the instrument of God. His Prakriti becomes only the instrument of God. And God, acting through Prakriti, has already decided the fate of everybody. He knows the past, he knows the present, he knows the future of everybody. So also in your life, what are you worried about? Everything has already happened. Krishna may not have given you Divya Drishti, but in your life also, everything has already happened. The question is just like on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where Krishna is telling Arjun to be his instrument and therefore act according to Krishna's plan. So also in your life, you're worried about so many things, you're anxious about so many things, you're apprehensive about what is happening in your future or even in your present. You're regretful about what has happened in your past. But all these are part of a cosmic plan which has already been laid down by Krishna. So don't imagine that things have not happened by God's will. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is very clearly stated, Tena vina tranamapi na chalati, not a blade of grass moves without God's consent. And therefore, my friends, everything in your life has already happened. Now you be Krishna's nimitta matra, and in a spirit of heroism, in a spirit of sacrifice and devotion to the all-pervading Lord, you act out your role. God is indeed the producer, He is the director, He is the script writer. And everything is ready for you. You are the hero or heroine who has stepped onto the stage. And you simply need to play your part as heroically as possible in a spirit of devotion and in a spirit of renunciation. So always keep this in mind, keep these words in mind. Nimitta matra, nimitta matra. You are only the instrument. Don't feel guilt for what has happened. It has happened by God's will. Don't feel anxiety and fear for what is to come. That's already happened, decided by God. You are only an instrument, a nimitta matra. You are the visible cause, the instrument of what is happening. So he says, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha are already destroyed, he tells him. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies. All this has already happened. The script is written, the director has put everything into play, the producer has funded the movie. You are the actor, just step on the platform, the stage, and do your role. Sanjaya says to Dhritarashtra, hearing these words from Lord, Arjuna trembled fearfully. He offered obeisances with folded hands, and he began to speak. The world becomes joyful on hearing your name, O Lord. And while everyone, the perfected beings, those who are devoted to you, they offer you homage. But the demons are afraid. They flee here and there, and all this is perfectly and rightly done. O great one who stands even above Brahma, you are the original master. Why should they not offer homage unto you, O limitless one? A refuge of the universe, you are the inevitable source, the cause of all causes, the transcendental to this material manifestation. Tvam Adi Deva Purusha Puranas. You are the original Lord, the Supreme Personality. You are the only sanctuary of the cosmic worlds. You know everything. You are all that is knowable. You are above the material manifestation and all the gunas. This cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. You are earth, water, fire, and you are the moon, you are the controller, you are the grandfather. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you 1,000 times, again and again and yet again. Nama purastad atha prishtataste. Obeisances from behind, from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of the limitless might. You are all pervading and thus you are everything. So in the past, he tells Krishna, I have called you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend. Without knowing your glories, please forgive what I may have done in jest, in madness, in love. I have dishonored you many times while relaxing or while lying on the same bed or eating together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. Please excuse me for all my offenses. You are the father of this cosmic manifestation, the worshipable chief, the spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. Within these three worlds, you are immeasurable. No one can become God, no one can become Krishna. They can only realize their spiritual identities. You are the Lord to be worshipped by every living being, the Supreme Lord. Thus I fall down, Dandavat, to offer you my respects and ask your mercy. Please tolerate all the wrongs I may have done to you and bear with me as a father bears with his son, or a friend with a friend, or a lover with his beloved. Now he is transforming from fear into devotion. You can see the devotion becoming manifest. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but the mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please give me your grace and reveal again your form as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. I want to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head, with club, with wheel, with conch and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in this form. Let me see you also as Vishnu. I've seen your universal form. It is so fearful that I would rather see you in your form as Vishnu. And then he says, Sri Bhagwan Uvacha, Maya Prasannena Tava Junedam, Tava Arjunedam, Rupam Param Darshitam Atma Yogat. Happily I show you this universal form by my inner potencies. No one before you has seen this unlimited and glaringly effulgent form. He's never shown this complete form to anybody. He's shown it earlier to the Kauravas, but they were not given Divya Drishti. And not being his devotees, they could not see the form in its entirety. Only people like Bhishma, Drona, and Sanjaya could see his form earlier in the Kaurava court. See, in the Kaurava court, Krishna goes out of his way as the Shanti Dut to try to get the Kauravas to back down. He says, you keep your kingdom, but while you keep your kingdom, give five villages to these five people so that they can perform their Swadharma Kshatriyas by ruling over one village at least. And Duryodhan famously says that I will not give them as much land as there is on the head of a pin. And he tries to grab Krishna and imprison him and bind him. So there Krishna reveals one aspect of his universal form to terrify the Kaurav court, to show them that he is not an ordinary person, that he is in fact the instrument of divine justice. He is showing them that you who are following adharma will all perish. For that purpose, in the Kaurav court, he shows one aspect of his universal form. But that is a limited and abridged version of the universal form, not the full aspect of his universal form as seen in the Bhagavad-Geeta. And as I've already told you last time, after after the Mahabharata is over, Battle of Kurukshetra is over, he is challenged by Uttanka, who is very angry with Krishna for having allowed the war. And at that time, Krishna comes to Uttanka and reveals the universal form to show him that everything is happening as per destiny. See, destiny is strange because it has already been written. It is predictive. It knows how you're going to behave. And knowing how you're going to behave, it has already decided the end. Even while you're talking now, even while you're listening now, your next birth and your next body is being prepared for you. Depending on whether you choose the path of Krishna and choose to leave and go back to him or not. But everything is happening in Prakriti in anticipation. And you are behind the curve. And being behind the curve, you are only following what has already been laid down. So he shows that destiny is what is responsible for the death of the Kauravas, not Krishna's will, because Krishna is only the observer. And having done this, Uttanka is pleased and pacified and blessed. And because he is terrified by this form and he accepts Krishna, Krishna gives him a boon. Krishna gives Uttanka a boon that he will never go thirsty. Whenever he wants water, that water will be available to him. Even today in India, in desert regions, when they see a cloud, they say, oh, that is the Uttanka cloud. It means that is the cloud from where rain will come as blessed by Krishna. So yes, he says here that no one has seen this form, but he has shown it in a limited and abridged form earlier. And similarly, he will show it again to Uttanka before the end of the Mahabharata. O best of Kuru warriors, he says in text 48, no one before you has seen this form, neither by studying the Vedas, nor performing sacrifices, nor by charities, nor by similar activities can this form be seen. This is also said by Krishna later on. Naham veder na tapasa na danena na cha ijjaya. Bhaktyatva ananya shakya aham eva vido Arjuna. Not by studying Vedas, not by performing yajna, sacrifice, not by giving in charities, not by performing austerities, can you see me as I am. Only through undeviated devotion can you see me. Your mind has been perturbed and disturbed by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Let it be finished. My devotee, now be freed from all disturbance. With a peaceful mind, you can see the form that you desire. So having done that, Sanjaya says to Dhritarashtra, Krishna revealed his four-armed form as Vishnu. and ultimately shows him his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. So this is so important that we can't bear to see his cosmic universal form. Even seeing the four-armed form is not satisfying for us. But when we see the Lord in his form as Lord Shri Krishna, then our mind becomes pacified. And when Arjun sees Krishna in his original form, which is human-like, so beautiful, Arjuna's mind is pacified and he's restored to his original nature. Which is why Krishna comes in this form. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvata tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. So Krishna says that this form is not possible to be seen and very difficult to behold. Even the Devtas are seeking the opportunity to see this universal form, but they are denied this. Naham vede na tapasa na danena cha na cha ijjaya. Shakya evam vido drashtum drishtvanasi mam yatha. This is a very important verse. He says, Naham vede na tapasa na danena na cha ijjaya. This is repeated through the Bhagavad-Geeta. You cannot be understood. He says, I cannot be understood by the Vedas, by doing serious penances, by charity or worship. Bhaktya tva ananya shakya aham evam vido Arjuna. Gnyatam drashtum cha tatvena pravashtum cha parantapaha. This is another important line. Bhaktya tva ananya shakya aham evam vido Arjuna. It is only through undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am and be understood and seen directly. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvata tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sarjana. Vita raga bhaya krodha stitati muni uchyate. So, Vita raga bhaya krodha man maya upashritaha bhavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavam agataha. Only when you can, knowing Krishna's divine form and activities, when you leave this body, you will not return. But to know Krishna in that form, he says, Vita raga bhaya krodha, without attachment, fear, or anger, you have to take shelter of Krishna. Having performed bahavo jnana tapasa, having pursued knowledge and performed austerities for many, many lifetimes, putamad bhavam agata, you can take shelter of him. Elsewhere also he has repeated that bhaktyatva ananya shakya aham evam vido Arjuna. Bhaktya mama vijanati yavanyaschashmi tatvatah tato mam tattato gnatva vishate dharantaram. One who is engaged in my devotional service, free from the contamination of previous activities, from all mental speculation, who is friendly to all living entities, such a person certainly comes to me. So Krishna wants you to be engaged in remembering him and serving him, being absorbed in him, in forgetfulness of self. Not only that, he wants that you should not be having any enemies. You should be friendly to all living entities. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karunya evacha nirmamo nirahankara samasukha dukkha shlami. It's when you are able to have no enemies and to become equal friend of all living entities, then you are qualified to understand God. With this, we conclude the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita, because this is the prelude to the most important chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita, which is the 12th chapter, which we shall do next time. In this cosmic universal form, this vision, all of this is preparatory to receiving the direct message of Krishna on devotion. If anyone has any queries, questions, comments, please go ahead and ask me.
Thank you, Shantanu for today's session. Am I visible?
Yes.
Okay. My first question is, what is the significance of Krishna declaring that only through single-minded devotion can one truly see his universal form?
See, it's not only see him in his universal form, it is even see him as Krishna. Okay. So the universal form is used to deepen Arjuna's devotion to him. So it's not a universal form presentation by Krishna is not a universal prescription. It is specifically tailored for each situation and circumstance. It was by prescription for the Kauravas in their court when they tried to arrest him. And it showed a limited abridged form. In Bhagavad-Gita, to deepen and increase the intimacy between Krishna and Arjuna, he shows him this cosmic universal form. And later, for Uttanka, he displays yet another aspect of the universal form. The complete one is the one in the Bhagavad Gita. So, Krishna is explaining not that you should only see the cosmic form before you can find intimacy with Krishna, but he shows that even Arjuna, after being given Divya Drishti, is not able to keep his mental balance by seeing Krishna in the universal form. So, people are not prepared. In spite of receiving Divya Drishti, most people are not prepared to see Krishna in the universal form. Therefore, Krishna appears eventually in his two-armed form, because this two-armed form is pleasing to the eye, enables you to relate with it. You can have various rasas of engagement with Krishna, because Krishna wants you to have, shall we say, a personal, intimate relationship with Krishna so that you can see him in every event in your life, so that you can see him in the hearts of all people around you. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshosti na priya. Ye bhajante tumam bhaktya mahitateshu chapyam. So he wants you to see him everywhere in the hearts of people around you, in the heart of your spouse, your friends, your parents, your boss, your employers. So he wants you to see him in his form as Sri Krishna. And that will be declared in the 12th chapter, which we will come to. He is showing the universal form to Arjuna. One, to increase the intimacy with him. And two, to show him that he cannot maintain a relationship with that form because no one's mind is prepared for it. And therefore, he takes this form. And then in the 12th chapter, you will see he says that who is more intimately united with you? Those who worship you in the inconceivable, ineffable, all pervading, non manifest aspect, or in the form of Sri Krishna. And therefore, at that time, Krishna answers in the 12th chapter, which follows this 11th chapter, that seeing and worshipping me in this form of Sri Krishna, those people are most intimately united with me.
Thank you so much for today's interesting session, Shantanu. And to all our viewers, stay connected with us until next time as we, come back again with another session on the Bhagavad Gita on next Thursday at 8 a.m. Hare Krishna.
Hari Om, Jai Shri Krishna, Hare Krishna.